Welcome to the virtual lunch. Today is Friday, June 24th, and this is virtual lunch number 588. Our guest today is Kelly Harbour, the Chief Business Development Officer at Goulston and Storrs, and this is part of our series on revenue operations with our friends at Nexel. Hi, Kelly. How you doing?
I'm great. Hi, all right.
How's it going, everybody? Ben Chiriboga, Head of Growth at Nexel. We are a revenue operations platform for law firms. And if you want to learn what that is, we wrote a big old white paper about it, which you can get at nexel.cloud. But the general idea is that we help align law firms' marketing, business development, their lawyers and client service teams on one platform so that they can go to market as one team.
Tell us a little bit about your background and your role at the firm.
Sure. So my current role is Chief Business Development Officer, and I oversee really 4 functions at the firm. So marketing and communications, business development, client service and growth, and practice group management. And I've been with Goulston for approaching 8 years now. Before that, I was at Bingham McCutcheon, may he rest in peace, now kind of part of Morgan Lewis. And that Bingham was my first foray into law firms. Before that, I have advertising agency and marketing agency experience. And I think what's a little bit different about my background and what I think makes me a good candidate to be a guest today is I've gone back and forth between roles under the IT part of the house and the revenue and strategy part of the house. And I think it's that blend that has made me a little different, and it has been incredibly helpful in advancing in my various roles as my career has progressed. I think, I'm not sure who came up with the term, but the idea that your career can be a jungle gym instead of a ladder, that's one that resonates with me. So I was in my past role overseeing client service and growth and practice management. And so, almost 50-50 business development, which I had more control of earlier in my career at Goulston and Storrs. And then I moved into the client service and growth and practice management side. And, really each of those functions that are under my purview are about driving business. So it's about knowing who your clients are and where the opportunities are to generate revenue with them. It's about knowing where to find clients like your best clients and to bring them into the firm. And on the practice management operations side, it's really about how does the firm optimize the way that the practice runs? How are we delivering service? How are we staffing? What is the strategy of a particular practice and how does it fit into the strategy of the firm? All of those things really are about the future and the growth of the law firm. So it really was just an expansion of a slice of the pie to kind of the whole pie. And so, it was a good fit for me, for the firm. I had a lot of institutional knowledge, I had a lot of relationships, and, I really had a vision for how this role and this function could continue to evolve. So it's really it's all related. All of the 4 functions that I was talking about, they really need to be in synchrony. So if you start with the foundational practice management side, understanding what you're doing, what you want to be doing more of, and how you're doing it in a way that it's different from other law firms. And then, that's the experience is what we're all selling, right? So you have to figure out how the unique combination of experience that you have between practitioners, areas of expertise, and your sort of secret sauce about how you do what you do. You need to figure out how to communicate that through the marketing communications, platform broadly, how to tell your story in a way that, captures the essence of how you're different, which then creates a pipeline for your business development team to pursue and leads to clients who, everybody knows it's much faster to get revenue from your existing clients than it is to go out and find a new one. So what you want to look at, is basically what are you doing for an existing client? And for your key clients, you want to have lots of structure around monitoring and figuring out how to expand and grow those relationships. And, it's incredibly important for everybody at the firm to know what's going on with those relationships. What are you currently doing? Where might the opportunities be? And then figuring out a strategy to seize those opportunities. Because again, once a client has said yes to buy from you, it's much more, it's much easier to get them to say yes to buy something else from you. And just one more point that I'll make on this one. We do feedback at multiple levels. End of matter debriefs are the sort of most frequent and shortest scope of what we do. So after a significant deal or a case, after maybe the first deal or case that we've done with a new client, we want to see what they liked, what they didn't like. And then we do client feedback interviews, which are longer format, co-managing partner and I, where we're really gathering information on the state of the relationship, where we think opportunities are. And then again, we bring all of what we hear back to that individual client team. We bring the intelligence about a particular industry or type of work to a practice. If we are getting feedback about something that we're doing well, we make sure we communicate that to those practitioners and use it as part of our story of why clients hire us. Again, what makes us different. So it's just a continual, this synchronous cycle of getting information from your clients, figuring out, how to keep doing what you're doing well, and, bring it into the marketing and business development functions to create more growth. At the individual client relationship level, we have key client teams, and we probably have 20 or 30 of them at Goulston and Storrs. And we have core teams, we have, all hands teams, where everybody that touches a client comes and we talk about really what's going on at the client, what work we're doing for them, what goals the client has set. We have for public company clients, we listen to earnings calls and provide summaries of the highlights that we're hearing from the earnings calls that can be fed back to the team in terms of what the company's goals are and what the implications of the legal services that they will need will be based on that. We do client listening through Manzama, which is another legal tech tool, so we can figure out, when clients are in the headlines and share information in that way. So there are multiple formats and platforms for sharing the information, and then, the client team more takes less of the external view. I guess we can sort of digest that, but we try to keep each other informed in real time on that. And in the client team meetings, we really talk about, are there moves happening inside the client that, may impact our relationship? What are the kinds of mandates we're getting? Is the client's business expanding or contracting? What are they worried about? How are things happening in the external world impacting them? And how do we need to be prepared to respond to those? If you know me, data is my jam, and I try to infuse data into, as much decision making as possible. And also I try to use data to identify where I need to be paying attention. So in terms of business development success, there are a couple things that we're doing. One is we've started to look at projecting demand, for a particular practice, and then look at both the clients who, we're providing that service and do some planning, but also, trying to use the data to surface similar clients where we aren't providing the service.
Kelly Harbour, everybody. Awesome discussion. Thank you so very much. Thanks, of course, to our friends at Nexel for supporting this series on revenue operations. Kelly, that was great. We really appreciate it. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend.